Well, of course, Brexit wasn't supposed to happen. You don't call referenda that you think you're going to lose. But the UK government called the referendum and they lost it. So Brexit is happening. What that means, who really knows? Who can tell? What it does do is cause an awful lot of uncertainty, which is bad for business and it's bad for people. It's bad for the people who are working in these particular companies. It's certainly bad for consumers. People don't like to be unsettled and they don't like uncertainty in any way, shape or form. As far as the European economy is concerned, potentially it's good news. What do I mean by that? The UK market will still be open, will still be available to them. It's a question on what terms. As far as the UK economy is concerned, the UK economy has been doing rather well since the referendum result. But don't forget, Britain hasn't actually left the EU yet. The real question is what happens after 2019 once the UK has left Europe. If I were a European business at the moment, I'd be telling my sales force to look east, look towards China, look towards India. Let's see if the opening markets there can help replace any potential lost customers we might have out of the UK. The result of the UK referendum on our relationship, on the UK's relationship with Europe, is a wake-up call. We've seen the reaction from the Commission President in the last few days and his five-step alternative manifesto. I think it's the first time I can ever recall the Commission coming up with a series of options as opposed to a series of the way forward. And I think the real difference, what the referendum in the UK has done, it's shown for the first time that it is possible for individual European governments to have a slightly different view to the Commission view and act on it, and that people follow that through and want a series of changes. So I think unfortunately the EU Commission no longer rules. We're seeing the rise of what I would call the individual states, and it's how the individual states coalesce together and how they react and what they want to do which will drive the agenda moving forward. It's not that long ago that people were telling us that Britain would vote to stay in the European Union. They voted to leave. It's not that long ago we were being told that Donald Trump wouldn't even be the Republican candidate. He is now President of the United States. All bets are off, basically. And if I were a European Commission official, I'd be really worried about the Dutch elections next week, but I would be particularly worried about the French presidential elections in April and May. And of course, then we've got the German elections in September. So I have to say, as a communications consultant, as a PR man, as a businessman, I'm more worried about what's going to happen in the next few months, not what happened in the previous few months. I think, as I say, all bets are off, anything can happen.